City. Bingo, bango, bongo. Got to make your free throws. Rest in peace, broadcast legend Bill Schonely. Thanks for the memories.
And thanks for the comment, Joe from North Portland. Over the weekend, the great Bill Schonely passed away at the age of 93. During yesterday's show, we brought you a story of his incredible life and career and asked you to share some of your memories. And as always, you did not disappoint. What struck us as interesting while reading your emails and listening to your voicemails, it wasn't all Blazer related. Mike told us, I remember going to a Portland Beavers game, that's baseball, and was sitting just below Bill when we entered the 7th inning stretch. He started singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Being a tenor in my church choir, I joined him in singing loud and in harmony. At the end, he smiled at me and said, good job. I started laughing and said it was good singing with him and we'd have to do it again. He laughed and said, anytime, I'll miss him. And several of you fondly remembered time in church with Bill. Helen told us Bill Schonely was known to most Portlanders as the voice of the Trailblazers, but he was so much more. A memory that members of the Lake Grove Presbyterian Church members will cherish and miss was Bill Schonely reading the Gospels of Luke and Matthew on Christmas Eve between carols and hymns. It was always incredible. And a similar sentiment from Mary. I was 7 years old when the Blazers took the championship in 1977. We all sat around the kitchen table in our Northeast Portland home listening to Bill's every word. I also remember him reading the Christmas passages from the Bible at Lake Grove Presbyterian Church on Christmas Eve and seeing him sing in the choir with his beautiful wife, Dottie. What a legacy is left for the great state of Oregon and to Blazer fans across the United States and around the world. Even here in the newsroom, when we learned of his passing, so many of us remarked on how Schonely made you feel like a friend, even if you were a complete stranger. That's just the kind of guy that he was. Several of us longtimers at KGW shared memories like that, and so did you. Patricia says, my father, Eldon Snyder, just passed away last year at 97. He was a veteran of World War II. One of his favorite memories in his lifetime was being asked to be the hometown hero at a huge Blazer game in 2016. She sent us this picture, and her comment goes on, our whole family was invited to be the honored guest that night, but the standout moment for my dad was meeting Bill Schonely in the private dining room upstairs, Bill graciously speaking with my dad and allowing us to take pictures of the two of them together. And if yes, there of course were memories of Schonely behind the microphone for the Blazers, even for those of you who wouldn't consider yourselves experts of the game.
It's Richard, the Sean's fixture, to say the least, in Portland basketball. My life in sports has been kind of meager. I was always last to be picked on the basketball team in junior high and rarely excelled at anything to do with athletics, basketball, or anything else. But it's nice to hear the play-by-plays. It's nice especially to hear the play-by-plays because it helps me understand the game.
That's a nice memory. Even though we've mentioned it already, several of you look back to that June night in 1977 when the Blazers won it all.
The Portland Trailblazers have won the World Championship.
Well, Pat, what Blazer memories can you have that weren't wrapped up with Bill Schonely? And I swear he was the wind beneath their wings, helping to propel them to the championship in 1977. Yes, I was actually alive back then at 25, and while I could never afford to go to one of their games in person, when they beat Philly in 6, I could afford to drive all the way out to the airport, where I'd never even been before, but I plotted out there alone in the dark anyway so I could get to greet and meet and congratulate all of them. I met Bill Walton and Maurice Lucas, and I think Bobby Gross might have been his name. And Dave Twardzik, I always remembered him because he just had the weirdest name. And yes, the Shawns. But so those were the best individual memories I've ever had of him and the team. And maybe one day, if they remember his mantra, you've got to make your free throws, I might actually live to see another one. Probably not. But anyways, yeah, he'll be missed for sure.
Yes, he will. Keep sending your memories, questions, and comments to thestory@kgw.com. We're going to wrap things up right after this.